Update. Family suddenly against me 27 male, not wanting anything to do with my ex and baby after finding out I'm not the father. Original story. All of it came out a while back. My now ex-girlfriend had a baby girl 3 months ago, and recently I learned I'm not a biological father. I kicked my ex out of my place and told her I'd never want to see her again. We had a few issues recently, and today I'm told by my parents and sisters that they don't agree with me not wanting anything to do with the baby because she's still my daughter. They were fully supportive of me since this all came out, and suddenly because my ex is online over another issue we had, and how I'm abandoning a baby girl I still bonded with, they feel that they agree with her. Honestly, I feel so betrayed by this. Like I said, literally a few weeks ago they were fully supportive of me. Now they want to make me play daddy to a baby that isn't mine, with all the pain I'm still experiencing. What do I even do about that? Because now it seems like they have a pretty strong opinion about it. Now for the top advice before reading the update. If you're not the biological father, you quite literally have zero responsibility. Why would anyone expect you to take care of her or her child when you found out she cheated on you anyways? They should be ranting to the real father instead of you. Because the ex is stirring crap up online. It also probably makes him look pretty bad to kick her and the baby out on the streets. I'm sure people are reacting emotionally. Could be his family had bonded with a baby and already thought of them as theirs? I don't know. It's not a simple situation when there are tiny humans involved, as much as everyone likes to pretend the world is black and white. However, I agree you don't let a cheater who tried to baby trap you with another man's child live with you, and you certainly don't raise the baby. I would frankly tell the family that if they feel so strongly about it, they can invest their time and money raising that baby and letting the mom move in with them. The only way their argument holds water is if they are willing to step up and do what they insist Opie does. Otherwise, they're just crap-talking dummies who won't put their money where their mouth is. You're an adult. Do what's right for you. Your parents and sisters have no say in this. They're most likely projecting their disappointment of having a baby in the family onto you. Stay the course and don't let them make you second-guess your choice. Seek legal advice in your area to ensure you are not on the hook for your ex's well-being and the child. Extremely important. Otherwise, I'm sorry this happened to you. I'm glad you found out when you did. And now for the update. Man, did things really take a turn from last time I posted this. I tried talking with my family multiple times, at least to get them to understand how badly my ex cheating has messed me up, and the way it makes me feel with them trying to back me into a corner about the baby. I've told them she's not mine and I can't be involved in her life or my ex's. That's just too much for me. For a few days after, I thought they finally understood it. Then what do? My mom asks if they can come over to my place for some lunch, and they bring the baby too. Thank God it wasn't my ex too, or I probably would have lost my cool. This was the first time I ever raised my voice at my mom. It is to tell her to get the hell out. Her, my dad, and my siblings are trying to plead with me to just hold her and sit down to talk with them. Seriously, I couldn't freaking believe them. I didn't get physical, but in a way did have to push them out of my house. Got non-stop calls from them outside, and the baby was crying because they kept calling me from outside to let them in. It was a crazy time. My heart was even pounding. After that crap show, I called my mom up again to tell her I'm done with this. They're not to speak to me again, and if at some point I decide to let them back in, they are never allowed to ever bring up my ex or the baby. I told my mom I honestly can't believe she'd do that to me, her son after everything I've already been through. That betrayal hurts deep. She seems super apologetic, but that's not enough for me with the line they crossed. I'm sad that it had to come to me blocking them off for a long time. Most likely the rest of my life, since they seem so interested in having the baby in theirs, and I don't need that around me. Been spending more time with friends, going out, getting drunk, and having fun. It's a nice distraction, honestly. Here's hoping you finally have some peace. For what it's worth, I'm proud of you. Your family's all kinds of horrible, and you really stepped up and protected yourself there. This, my man. You set clear and firm boundaries that your family unfortunately don't care about. And the minute you give a damn about that child, your ex is going to use that as a leverage to get you to support her awful ways. For what it's worth, blocking family's hard, but family's supposed to have your back and tell you the honest truth when needed. But that isn't family you got right now. They're so blinded by grandchild that they don't care about the harm they're doing to their own son over having the baby around. If you've got friends with career opportunities outside of town, or things you've always wanted to do that family held you back on, now's your time. Find your new way forward. Good luck on your journey. I'm considering leaving once I know my name is off the birth certificate. Last chances of my ex are them trying to force the baby on me again. Also, I'm tired and feel I need something else in my life right now. Sounds like you need a lawyer if your name is on a birth certificate. No, the biological dad is getting his name added to the birth certificate. As far as I know, he's fine with owing child support but won't be involved. It's really sad. To think they would be so invested in the idea of a grandchild that they're basically asking you to distort reality and completely disregard your own feelings to humor it. What indulgent, delusional, and baffling people. It sucks having to cut off family. But I want to make it clear, it had to be done, and you stood up for your own principles, a own pursuit of happiness here in a way I think you should take pride in. Be careful with drinking though, friend. I've lost years of my life to it, let alone my lifespan, and it never helps. If you find yourself drinking more and more, especially alone, then really reflect on that. Thanks for this. I see what you mean about the drinking. I've been kind of reckless with it, because right now it feels like I want to be in self-destructive mode to feel numb for a bit. But I'll try to monitor it and make sure it doesn't get too crazy. Next story is titled, Update. I, 31 male, am reconsidering my marriage after my father-in-law's death. Original story. We have been together for 10 years, married for 5. My father-in-law passed away at the start of the year, and it has been difficult. I have been there for her. I have taken over a ton of chores. I have been a shoulder to cry on, and I have made sure she has a space to talk about him and cherish his memory. Then it has struck me that she did none of this when my father passed away. He died 3 years ago. My wife was with me during the funeral, but she didn't let me break down or take time for myself. She always said that my dad wouldn't want me to cry about him, and I should carry on working. Pulling 70-hour weeks because that is what he would have wanted, for me to be a good family man like he was. I believed her and just pushed back all the emotions. I was only able to mourn and talk about him properly with my best friend. I thought it was fine then, and I didn't want to bother her. Right now, I feel like my father's death was something he had to deal with, while her father's death is something that happened to all of us. I know it is silly to compare and contrast, but this pattern holds for most of our marriage. Her emotions and problems are our problems, while my emotions have to be processed outside our family. I honestly don't know how to bring this up. I don't think I am ready to leave her when she is still struggling, but bringing this up will just make things worse. I am terribly confused. Edited to add, it is a pattern. She is very considerate and generous in small things, but she can be selfish about big things. For instance, the reason we moved to our current city was because she loved it and she got an offer here. It was a pretty bad move for me in terms of career opportunities, but she made it clear that it was either the move or divorce. It sucked, but I made a move. Someone suggested therapy and I have been to therapy, but the money comes out of my fun money instead of our expenses. I'm not sure if she had to go, it will come out of her fun money. Now for the top advice before reading the update. Therapy money comes out of your fun money? That's a red flag right there. Therapy is medical care. It's treatment. It's preventative care. Does she pay for doctor's visits, over-the-counter pain medication, pads and tampons, etc. out of her fun money? Because this sounds like it's bordering on financial mistreatment. Therapy isn't fun. It's mental health care. Your wife sounds like an a-hole. She made you work 2 jobs worth of time each week when you were grieving. She made you bottle up your emotions. And now she expects you to step up for her when she refused to do the same for you? This isn't a healthy relationship at all. I see a lot of you giving and her taking, but not much in the other direction. Couples counseling or divorce. This sounds like an awful relationship to be a part of. Yeah, the idea of therapy money coming out of fun money is absolutely absurd. Sounds like Opie's looked on as an accessory to her life rather than a partner. I'd say couples therapy pretty sharpish. I'm sorry, Opie. Her telling you to be a family man was to deny you any grieving. And she should not be such a sexist hypocrite with support after a death. Totally yes. When my grandmother died, my dad broke down. Not only because his mother was dead now, but because his side of the family lives in another country 5,000 kilometers away. So the last time I saw her was probably 2 years before that. No one in my family cared about him being a family man then. He just was a son who grieved the loss of his mother. And my mom, brother, and I did everything we could so that he could book a flight the next few days to be able to be at her funeral and be there with his siblings. Sometimes it's okay to not be strong or 100% there for your immediate family. The loss of a beloved parent/sibling/other family member is one of them. But men are definitely allowed to grieve properly like everyone else in these situations. I'm sorry you didn't get the support you need when your father died. Is it a pattern with your wife to not be emotionally supportive of you, or was it just around your father's death? I can't really tell from your post. If you are just realizing that this is a pattern in your relationship, it's a valid and important complaint. If it was just around your father's death, I think you should talk to her about it. She may not have realized what she was doing. She may not have realized how hard it is for you. Sometimes when someone hasn't experienced a close death like that themselves, they just don't get it. But if she really thinks don't dwell and get back to work is defensible, you have some thinking to do. And now for the update. I ghosted my own wife. I want to thank all the commenters for pointing out how messed up my marriage was. I had been planning a trip to see my nephew for a while, and I finally decided to go. I flew back home, but I have been staying with my sister. I took all the important documents with me because I wanted them with me just in case. I knew that even if I try to talk with her, I will fold and stay. I needed space and I needed time. I'm surrounded by unconditional love here. Even if I hurt my sister or brother, they will be hurt and angry, but they will still love me, while my wife can turn her affection on and off like a switch. I've talked to her about divorce, and she is trying to win me back. She has even talked to me about moving back. I had to quit my job. It will hurt my career, but my boss was strangely understanding. I have also contacted a divorce attorney. I know it is going to be messy and long, but I want to do it. I really don't see a future for myself right now. And what is my most important motivation for getting a divorce that I have already made her angry? Even if I go back now, she will still be angry. I am terrified of what she will do to me to work through that anger, and we would go back to being loving after she vented. But I don't have the emotional strength to go through that, and I am deeper in every day I don't return. Divorce becomes a better option, even though I still miss her. I really do love her, but I can't live like this. I'm terrified of what she will do to me to work through that anger. Write the statement down on a piece of paper and stick it in your wallet. Anytime you have second thoughts about the divorce process, just take it out and read it. Nobody should be terrified of their own marriage, for any reason. You deserve better than this. Exactly. She sounds like a manipulative bully. And the fact he is scared of her not buying her nice act reminds me of when the bully is forced to apologize by adults. You know the apology is performative art, and when they get a chance to get you alone again? Honestly, solid advice. When I broke up with my last ex, I had to write a few of the things he did down, and read them over a few times whenever I missed him or felt weak. It's odd how terrible instances can just be drowned by a few kind gestures of love. It was rereading the really bad stuff and triggering those memories that kept me away and never went back. Go ahead and file for divorce. The sooner you do that, the sooner it will be done and she'll be out of your life. Ask the attorney how to arrange things so that all contact is done through them, so that she can't contact you directly anymore. Right now, she knows she can use her fake nice side, and it is fake, to appeal to your feelings for her so that she can use them as a weapon against you. Disallowing her direct contact with you takes that weapon away from her. Once that is started, get into therapy ASAP. Doing so will help you break the addiction to her toxicity. We can become addicted to toxic people just like we can become addicted to substances. And that will help you stay strong and allow you to truly begin to heal from the damage your wife and marriage have caused you. I am talking to my attorney and we are going to file soon. Honestly, her having to deal with a lawyer would be a good idea. Her fake nice side feels so real that I don't know if it is fake, but I know there is still a lot of anger lurking there. I'm planning to go to therapy. Thank you for commenting. Divorce becomes a better option even though I still miss her. I really do love her, but I can't live like this. Sometimes love just isn't enough. Start divorce proceedings so you can move on with the rest of your life. Going to file soon. I really want to get it over with. Now for the last story. Did I, 30 male, make a mistake in telling my girlfriend's 29 female affair partner? We had dated for 4 years now and I thought things were great and sweet. She seemed emotionally supportive and we helped each other in our problems when needed. A few months ago though, when I was fixing her phone, I noticed flirty texts between him and her. I told her to stop with the flirting, but despite her promises, I found out from her phone, when I had to fix it again, that they were hooking up. I went to my friend's house and texted both of them that I knew, and then my relationship was over. The affair partner then called me and said he had no idea she was still with me. She had told him that I was the abusive ex. He told me he wouldn't speak to her anymore and invited me to chat with him someday. The next day, my now ex-girlfriend came in and screamed me out of ruining a great thing. It got to the point when she tried to stab me, and I had to literally fight for my life by punching her out. Cops were called and she was arrested. I know I should feel relieved, but now I'm wondering if I could have just told her instead of both of them that I knew the affair and avoided a drama. You did the right thing. If you'd have talked to her, she'd have denied it, probably, and told her affair partner more lies. I screenshot the text to end up confirming it. You still did the right thing. Now he has the chance to review his decision to stay with her. You didn't ruin a good thing. She did by cheating on you. I don't think you made a mistake, and I'm glad you were away from her and unscathed. You called her out for the flirty texts, and she kept going to the point of sleeping with a guy. When you contacted the other guy, he felt like an a-hole because she lied about you and the person you are, so he dropped her out of respect, and also by recognizing that if she's doing this to you, she would have no problem doing it to him. And after all that, she still came after you, her boyfriend and significant other, about ruining a good thing that she had with that guy, despite being with you, and then she tries to stab you. I'd say you were lucky to be out of that relationship, as she tried to harm you over the fact that she cheated on you. It was more of how I handled it I'm worried about. I was definitely going to leave no matter what.
Date. My husband fell in love with another woman and wants to try polyamory. Original post. Hi, I, 33 female, have been married to my husband, 34 male, for 4 years, and we've been together for 12. After a lot of financial struggle, we bought a house and are now planning to have kids. The thing is, a few months ago, my husband fell sick and had to stay home for a while. He decided to pick up an online game and started having weekly sessions with a group of players. Among them is a girl, 30s I think, and long story short, he fell in love with her. He broke down crying a month ago and admitted it. He told me it built up so gradually that he didn't understand how he felt until it was too late. They started texting privately after meeting and eventually had one-on-one calls together. Then, at some point, he said she told him she was in love with him, and he realized it was mutual. He said he told her it was impossible, but that he loved her too. They tried to be just friends, but they couldn't resist, and continued to show affection for each other. He showed me the texts, and also ventured into sexting. She asked if she could meet him face to face, but he refused. So he told me all of this, apologized over and over again, and told me he couldn't control himself. And while he loved us both, it was me he would choose no matter what. I was still very upset and slept at a friend's that night to gather my thoughts. I decided to forgive him because he clearly felt guilt and wanted to work it out. I told him that while I was deeply hurt, I still appreciated him coming forward and being honest about what happened. We got into long conversations about how we were feeling in our relationship. I accepted that he could love someone else, but said I didn't like how he handled it. He agreed. And then yesterday, he asked if I was comfortable opening up the marriage to polyamory. He said he still wanted to live with me and have kids, but couldn't erase or ignore the feelings he had for her. He says he wants to do it right and let us both see other people with clear boundaries and communication while still being present for one another. I'm going to be honest, it made me very uncomfortable at first. I know more or less how it works, but I never really thought about getting into it myself. It never even crossed my mind before. I am trying to think it through, but it's a lot to take in. Sorry, my writing is probably messy, but it's kind of hard to focus. I guess it's too early to decide, and we have a lot more to discuss beforehand, but still. Could you guys give me your opinions on this? Now for the top advice before reading the updates. I'd be divorcing so fast. And not at all entertaining kids with this man. So he cheated, and now wants to be able to keep cheating by calling it poly? Come on, do not have kids with this man for the love of God, and if you have any self-respect, you'll be serving him divorce papers soon as possible. Sorry your husband is a cheating a-hole. This will break you emotionally. Let him go. Divorce for good. Marriage is based on monogamy. Call me traditional or whatever, but poly is just an easy way for cheaters to justify themselves. What if he meets the other girl and decides that he only wants to be with her? Now for the first update 2.5 weeks later. First off, sorry I didn't reply to all your comments. I am very thankful for them. They helped me realize hard but fair truths about the whole situation. I waited for a bit to think about it all and had multiple long discussions with my husband. I wanted to confront him before making a final decision. To answer some of your questions, the other girl wanted to meet him, but they never did. Partly because my husband refused, but honestly, mostly because she lives too far away. I still got checked for STDs though, and I'm clean. Yay. He has friends who are poly, and they were apparently the ones who suggested he go down the polyamory road. I stopped talking to them for now. I'll deal with the bigger problem first. I told him his actions hurt me deeply, and that while I appreciated him admitting his affair, it was still infidelity. I told him what you guys said, that turning it into polyamory was merely green-lighting the affair after the fact, that polyamory should be built on mutual trust and communication, which he already broke, that I didn't feel respected. It destroyed him. He said he already knew, deep down, but didn't want to admit it, neither to me nor to himself. We both screamed and cried a lot. He finally admitted he wanted to open the marriage for selfish reasons. He is very sorry. He cut off contact with the other girl, let me fully access his computer and phone, and now wants to go to counseling to repair our relationship and marriage. He has been showing me a lot of affection and attention since then, although he admits it's sometimes out of guilt and not just pure love. And now I want to make it work too, but do I? Or is it sunk cost fallacy? I don't know. Our first session is in 2 months, the earliest we could get, and every day I change my mind. Literally yesterday, I wanted to leave him, while today I think it's worth giving it a try. Because we've known each other for so long, we understand each other on a very deep level, share a lot of interests, and have already built so much together. He was there for me during the hard parts of my life. He took responsibility for his actions and is really trying. Plus, if I leave him, I'd have to start my life nearly from scratch, find a new place to live, go back into dating for the first time in 12 years. I don't want to lose everything. It sounds very hard and scary. Am I too old for this? But at the same time, that's a form of denial, isn't it? It doesn't matter if those years were good. It's not going to be the same. Even if he gains my trust back, even if I forgive him, I'll never forget. I think he is genuinely remorseful, but isn't it too late for that? I'm too empathetic. Him being present now doesn't erase what was done. Do I want to stay not because I still believe in this relationship, but because I don't have the strength to ask for a divorce? Because it's the easy choice. Some kind of codependency? I have no idea. I can picture both paths clearly, and it's tearing me apart. I am lost, maybe even more than I was when I wrote my previous post. I've lost sleep and appetite, and I'm not sure I enjoy anything in my life anymore. I booked an appointment with a psychologist, for me alone, to help with this whole thing. I'm sorry. At this point, I'm rambling. I know I'm the only one who can decide what's okay and comfortable for me or not. It's ultimately my choice, and my choice only. The emotional hell I'm going through just makes thinking about that choice very hard and paralyzing. I'll go to both therapies and try to see what to do from here. I'll try to update, but it's probably going to take a while. I'm sorry. I want to thank you again for your support, and I'm sending you all a lot of love. Edit. A couple of things I should have mentioned but didn't, because putting all of this into writing without omitting something is much harder than I thought. He cut off contact with her because once he told her he was married and wanted us both, she just ran away and broke up with him. There are times since then when my husband starts feeling sad or angry because of what's basically withdrawal. And for that, he's at least smart and sensible enough not to blame me. What kind of marriage did we have before this crisis? It will sound so naive. It's my first and only romantic relationship. We were very close and basically grew up together as adults. We could talk about anything and understand each other. We shared the same values and interests. What changed, I think, is that we got into a routine and he got bored. During our argument, he said he was addicted to the attention the girl was giving him, and that he felt I didn't show him I was in love with him enough anymore. I told him that even if that were true, he should have told me instead of having an affair. On one hand, I have my faults too, and I could accept this as one of them. On the other, I was taking care of him and the house while he was sick. I don't think he believes it. I don't think he means it. But it makes me wonder whether I was actually a good wife for him, even though I am not responsible for his actions. Thanks again for your support, y'all. It's a lot to process, but it helps me so much. If you choose to stay, don't be surprised if in a year you find him talking to someone again. Cheaters are sneaky. They'll show remorse and swear they've changed. Meanwhile, they're smirking inside because they've started a new affair and think they can get away with it this time. Thank you. It's obvious and well known. Once a cheater, always a cheater. But reading it helps me fight denial. I really need to break up with him. If not for myself, just to show him that actions have consequences. Speak to an attorney about a post-nup with an infidelity clause. If you stay, as this should protect you financially, should he cheat again. You both need counseling to deal with this betrayal. Update me. Second update 3 months later. I hope you're doing well. A lot of things happened since then. I'll quickly summarize. Feel free to check my profile if you want to know more. It was a very, very unpleasant ride. So, soon-to-be ex-husband had an emotional affair online and tried to make me greenlight it by asking for an open marriage, where we'd be allowed to have side adventures. I refused, and his affair partner dumped him. He begged me to try to reconcile with him, to which I agreed while I was actually trying to prepare my exit. We both went to individual therapy. Still am. We separated temporarily 3 times, but every time I came back, it went terribly. He was desperate. He kept trying to cross my boundaries, love-bombing me, playing the victim, asking to touch me even though I had established I didn't want to, threatening to end himself if we were to divorce. I could go on and on. This made me finally realize, along with my therapist's help, a lot of self-reflection and my exchanges on Reddit, that I was in an abusive relationship, which is an important part, actually the most important part of this update. Please look up definitions and examples of abuse, because I had no idea that what my husband had been doing all these years, even before the affair, counted as such. In his case, it was psychological abuse, manipulation, gaslighting, guilt-tripping, blame-shifting, emotional blackmail. Nothing aggressive or mean, which turned me into a very submissive partner over the years, always catering to his needs while erasing mine. I rationalized everything. It happened subtly and gradually, and I was too naive to see it for what it was. His emotional affair and open marriage proposal were the natural continuation of that. Of course, the more I tried to get away from him, the more manipulative he got. Now that I was aware of it, I knew what he was doing. But fighting years of conditioning, even if you recognize it and succeed, is freaking exhausting and disarming. So, earlier today, I brought a friend home to assist me. We sat down, the 3 of us, and I told my husband we were over and handed him the papers. It might sound dumb, but it's genuinely one of the hardest things I've ever done in my life. I was terrified. Yet he agreed. He repeatedly asked me if I was sure. He reminded me of the family we were planning to have and our best memories together. Was it all for nothing? Apparently, yes. He was heartbroken, clearly mad and frustrated. But still, he agreed. He signed them and went back to his parents for now. We still have to go through the whole procedure, separate our assets, decide what to do with the house and all. And he still wants us to go to marriage counseling. But right now, I feel free for the first time in months. The last hours have been a mix of tears, celebration, and godly restful sleep. And I have to thank you guys again, because my first Reddit post was the wake-up call I needed to eventually, finally, get here. Better late than never, I guess. Thank you so much. Lots of love to you all. He reminded me of the family we were planning to have and of our best memories together. Was it all for nothing? Apparently, yes. He was heartbroken. That's a special kind of a-hole. Was it all for nothing? After cheating on his partner? He sounds like an insufferable dickhead, honestly. Congrats on your freedom. The worst part is that he appears very charming to everyone who knows him, myself included. Heck, lot of people from our circle, who are aware of what he did, still think he's a good person who just lost himself for a while. I guess it's hard to accept the ones we love can be terrible persons too. He's only being agreeable because 1. You had a witness. 2. He thinks he can convince you to come back. Again, because it's always worked in the past. Do not go back. In fact, change the locks, change all passwords, change utilities into your name, etc., and make sure you are as bomb-proof as possible, because he will explode when he realizes you are actually divorcing him. He will do everything he can to mess with your head, cause you to doubt, and then he will get really nasty and try to mess with your reputation, home, finances, etc. Be prepared. Yes, I agree. He knows my buttons and will push them all to get me back. I took notes of everything bad he did and comments I got from my friends and Reddit to remind me why I got away. I'll read it every time I have doubts. I can't change the locks because it's still his house too, but I'll take care of the rest. Thank you. Third update, another 3 months later. My previous post should have been the final update. I wish, God, I wish, but no, of course not. Of course it got worse, again. F my life. After my soon-to-be ex-husband signed the divorce papers, we went no contact, or at least I tried to. He still sent me text messages, voice messages, and tried to call me multiple times. He even sent me a long letter full of statements such as, I'm concerned that your mental health is deteriorating. I believe you need antidepressants to help you feel like yourself again. Or, your trauma is understandable, but it probably makes you want to punish me by making irrational decisions, like divorce, or I am afraid you are surrounding yourself with questionable influences that have bad agendas. Please let me help you see it through. He claimed the crisis was just as hard for him as it was for me. People told me he was escalating and that I should protect myself. I should have listened immediately, but I didn't react soon enough. Then he came to our street. He arrived uninvited and pleaded with me to give him a second chance. He said he wanted to be there for me and for us, insisting he didn't deserve any of this. I started to feel distressed. He saw that I was unwell and wanted to comfort me, so he hugged me. But I didn't want to be touched. I'm pretty sure I told him no. I think I screamed no multiple times, but my memory is fuzzy. Either I misremember, or I did say no, and he ignored it and didn't stop. I know it's just a hug, but it triggered a severe panic attack. He called emergency services, telling them he was worried about me because I wasn't myself. I had to ask the paramedics to make him leave. After that, he told me he was there for me if I needed him, but thought we needed space. He contacted half our social circle to inform them that I was unwell and needed support. Our mutual friends, my colleagues, our neighbors, my physician. People reached out of the blue to ask if I was okay. I became paranoid, unsure of who to trust anymore. Close friends, my therapist, and people here helped me see things more clearly. My lawyer filed a restraining order against him, but unfortunately it was refused. Not enough concrete evidence of a threat, apparently. I want to scream. We submitted a second request, which is currently being reviewed. In the meantime, I've moved into an apartment of my own. He doesn't know where I live. Heck, almost nobody does. I constantly wonder how he reacted when he found out. I'm still paying my half of the mortgage because nothing has been decided regarding our house yet. It's financially very hard for me, but I do feel safer. I am feeling much better, although I remain haunted by constant stress, sleep disorders, nightmares, nervous tics, random bursts of tears, and waves of anxiety. My physician prescribed me sedatives, and they do make it easier. I realize I'm isolating myself more and more. I try to fight it, but I'm really afraid that sensitive information could leak, even accidentally. I've started reaching out to my closest friends again, as much as I can. I'm trying to come back here on Reddit. I keep going to therapy. It's necessary. Because one part of me, the party cultivated for so long, urges me to stop all of this, to go back to the house, cancel the restraining order, cancel the divorce, call him, apologize, and repair our relationship. It would be insane. I am not going to do that. I do not listen to that little voice. I don't. But when your defenses are attacked over and over again, it becomes incredibly hard to reason properly. I can't wait for the divorce to be over. I just want to move on. I want all of this to be behind me. I'm sorry this is bleak. I wish I had left sooner. I just hope this can help someone. Anyone. Install cameras fast. It's for your sanity and your extremely abusive husband. I already have a Ring doorbell. I am waiting for this month's salary, which should probably arrive today or tomorrow, to buy additional cameras. I also got my landlord's authorization to add latches to the door. I hope this will help. He sounds like a nasty piece of work. He's trying to use your mental struggles against you. You don't have to isolate yourself. You can keep folks at arm's reach until you feel like you can trust them. Definitely get some cameras for your place. Not just for your crazy ex, but for other weirdos as well. This will pass. Take care of yourself. I felt like a child. It was so humiliating to find out everyone around me already knew about the panic attack before I even had a chance to tell people myself. Or just choosing to tell them or not. He kept saying he was there for me and wanted to save me, but he never asked me if I wanted his help. Last update, April 7th, 2025, 5.5 months later. Hey everyone, I know it's been a while since I last posted, and I appreciate your patience. I am okay. I was waiting for the storm to pass, but also wanted to take some time to gather my thoughts and reflect on everything before posting again. First off, I'm relieved to say that a restraining order was finally granted. Shortly after, my ex-husband sent me a long apology/love letter text asking me to take care of myself. I haven't heard from him since then. The divorce was recently finalized, and the house has been sold. It was draining. Saying it was a roller coaster of emotions would be an understatement. I have to thank my lawyer for carrying it through to the end. Starting over is overwhelming. I often find myself asking a lot of questions. What if I had spoken up sooner? What if I had recognized the signs earlier? What if I had been more assertive and expressed my boundaries better? What if I had communicated more effectively? What if I let myself get caught in the pain and overreacted? I think I failed miserably and made many mistakes over the past year. I'm still working on forgiving myself for those what-ifs. I feel bad for the pain I caused my ex-husband and others. There is shame, guilt, and self-hatred for sure. I know I can't change the past. I can only learn from it. Therapy still helps, more than ever now that the situation is stable. I don't need sedatives and sleeping pills anymore, most of the time. I still have plenty of bad days where memories, flashbacks, dissociative episodes, and nightmares paralyze me, but I'm learning to cope with them and identify their triggers better. My new apartment has become a safe haven for me. It's comforting to wake up in a space that truly feels like mine, not a house filled with reminders of the past or a mere survival space. I've finally found the energy to decorate it with little touches that reflect who I am, and it feels so good to embrace that, to have a place I can call home. I recently turned 34. It could have been a miserable birthday, but it was not. It felt more like the mark of a new beginning. I am proud to say I'm taking evening classes, slowly making some new friends and reconnecting with old ones. The laughter and joy they bring into my life is something I didn't think was possible anymore. I still struggle with trust in relationships, though. I am very careful around people. I'm still haunted by the traumas, and I never ever want to go through something like this again. I fear being manipulated and worry that people might realize I'm broken, damaged goods. I have moments of doubt, anxiety, and sadness, but I'm learning to accept those feelings instead of pushing them away. I understand it's okay to feel lost sometimes. It's part of the healing process. I carry my scars with me, and I know that while they will never disappear, they will still fade with time. I'm excited for what's to come as I slowly build a new life, one filled with hope and possibilities. I am not there yet, but I know I deserve happiness. We all do. For now, I think it's best for me to do what I was already doing. Step back from posting. This will be my last update. It has been 1 year since I joined Reddit, and I am now ready to move forward and focus on my journey without constantly revisiting the pain. I have plans to travel, explore new hobbies, and meet new people. I want to rediscover who I am outside of my marriage. Thank you all for your incredible support throughout this. Your kind words and encouragement have meant the world to me. I hope this can help anyone else going through something similar. It's tough, it takes time, and there are going to be difficult days. Healing is not linear, but it will get better. Eventually, I'll be okay, and I hope you all will be too. Much love to you all. These kinds of abusers are always scarier, in my opinion, when I read about them. How they undermine people's perspectives and everyone around them. I'm glad OP is safe and doing better. When I accused my ex of being abusive after we had split up under very similar circumstances, he said, "How can I be abusive? I never hit you." It's genuinely so insane and distressing how many people tell themselves, it's not abuse as long as I don't physically hit them. Or even if they do hit them, it's not abuse because you deserved it, /wound me up / wouldn't listen, etc. Like there's just no stoppage of the constant denials so they don't have to own up to the absolute BOS human beings they are. It's too hard to actually acknowledge the truth, so they use the most BS excuses on the planet to mentally wiggle their way out of accountability. Last story. Broke up with my boyfriend after he kept asking to do anal, even after I told him I was violated. When I was younger, I was drugged by someone I trusted, and they assaulted me in a way that hurt so terribly. I never wanted to think about it again. My boyfriend asked me if we could try anal. I said no and wanted to shut down. He asked me if I'd done it before. I said yes. He said, "So you did it for someone else but not me?" I told him it wasn't like that it wasn't consensual, and that I didn't want to talk about it again. Ever. He said okay and promised not to bring it up again. A few days later, he brought it up again. He tried to sell it to me. I think I could make it feel good. It could help you move past it if we did it right. I froze. I couldn't breathe. I told him, "I told you, don't ask me about this again. I will never want it. I'm not going to change my mind." And he apologized and said he wouldn't ask again. A couple of weeks later, he proposed it again while we were showering after being intimate. So I broke up with him. He apologized again and said we don't have to end it over this, and that we don't have to throw away everything we've built. But I told him that we're done. One of my friends said he was just being naive, and that I didn't need to break up with him over this, that we could work through it. My ex promised never to bring it up again, but I was done. It's one thing for someone to forget, but he didn't forget. I don't know if anyone else caught the attempted manipulation from the gate too. You'll do it with some other guy, but not me. Big honkin' red flag. That, and he's already showing her he won't respect a no. So if she did want to try it for some emotional blackmail reason, there's no guarantee he'd make the experience less traumatizing for her, when he could have his own sick pleasure instead. If he can't take a no when his junk isn't even inside her yet, will he accept it when it is? This is what they mean when they say rape mindset. That first no should have been it.